Hey guys, welcome back, beautiful people. We are back for our first recap since the Sister Wives took a break. It is season 19, episode 21, The Land of Milk and Honey. Happy Easter to those of you who celebrate. I'm hoping this will be up, before it's over, but if not, happy belated Easter. As I was watching this episode, I couldn't help but wonder how Mary feels, given that she gave the bald eagle and his bird this divorce, and they were able to adopt the kids and then eventually isolate and eliminate the others. I wonder what the I don't have an NDA, I can be honest about my feelings version of Mary feels like, because I can't help but sit here and see the way that this has played out and wondered if Mary has more regrets than she's admitting, because Mary trusted that bird more than she ever should. But go ahead and do me a favor and hit the like button as we jump into this episode. I have my notes, there's a lot of them. Y'all know I tell a lot of what's going on and give my thoughts in between. So we begin the episode in LA. The Woolies are still helping Janelle move. Truly, this time is with Janelle. Christine is with her man. Janelle speaks on how exhausting and intimidating this move is, but she is excited to be moving to North Carolina. I can only imagine what Janelle is feeling, because for Janelle, this is final. Like, she even says it at the end of the episode that this is where she's going to be planning her roots, that this is where she plans on staying. So it has to be a mix of emotions, especially because I actually do believe this time that Janelle is done. Now, I think that Janelle has gone back and forth several times with Cody, where she left him and came back. And this is really the final nail in what was their relationship, right? So she says that she's going to live with Maddie for now. She's moving in an area that they designed for her over the garage. Sounds like a mother-in-law suite. And then they're going to be building on the land that they intend to close on. So Janelle says that she realized a long time ago that in order to get anything done, that she couldn't wait on Cody, that if she did wait on him, a lot of things wouldn't have been accomplished. Christine speaks on how with David, she realized that there could be more. David talks about marriage and how with marriage, some people say that it's 50-50, but really it's supposed to be each person giving 100% of themselves. I used to be one of those 50-50 people until I went to marriage counseling, and I realized that if I'm only giving half of myself, am I really being the best version of me? So I kind of agreed with that when he said that. You all tell me what you think. So he says, you're not supposed to keep score. You're just supposed to step up, in areas where it's needed. So David says that he noticed that with polygamy that they tend to keep score. So Christine tells us about a time where David, I guess he was staying with his sister, and at some point he heard them arguing because his sister was in a plural marriage. He woke up to the sister and her sister wife fighting about who got the better stereo, and he couldn't help but think how ridiculous it was. And Christine was hearing him say that, and she was like, okay, you're saying that's ridiculous, but that was my life, that I did a lot of comparison. And this is when Christine tells us that she noticed. Now notice what she says. She doesn't talk about any of the other wives. She talks about Robin. She says that she always felt like Robin had it better, that she had the better couch and the better dishes and the better decorations and so many things. And I think that that speaks volumes to what it was, because Robin did have it better. We heard about Robin at times talking about the hand-me-downs that she gave to Savannah. We heard about the books and stuff that her kids had that they sometimes didn't want to share. For Robin to have been so broke, Robin really came into this thing and really got to enjoy the family funds. So Christine says, like, she had all these great things while I had scraps. I had scraps of time and scraps of things. She said that she also noticed that, Cody always wanted her to be on, that with him, their appearance mattered, that wearing makeup mattered. He wanted her to always look nice. And she gave an example about how they would always go camping. It's the one that we saw the episode of, that both her and Janelle were busy busting their butts, like taking care of the campsite, cooking, and things of that nature, while Robin was more concerned about getting the kids' hair done and doing makeup. I've been camping before. Many a times. I used to go all the time back when I was in the Pathfinders. And one of the things that I can say is the last thing that we're worried about is hair or makeup. We're trying to make sure that we get things done around the camp. So I get what Christine was saying when she said this. She said that what Cody did was he praised Robin for how good they all looked. You're going camping. Who the fudge cares about what you look like when you're camping? But, anyways, he would praise Robin for how great they all looked while her and the others are slaving over the food. And I heard her talk and I was like, I completely believe it. So Janelle's like, look, Christine always talks about this whole camping thing. Did it irritate me? Yeah, it irritated me. But I was not about to allow that to mess up my trip. I wasn't about to allow that to mess up my fun. I get it. I just don't think, as I've said before, that I would be able to be in this family. So you hear the bird. You know, the one time that we went camping, I was 6 months pregnant and I got sick a lot. I got sick a lot. I also spent the night, barfing my guts out on my hands and my knees. And then, Janelle and Christine were making breakfast and I was just trying to hurry up and get ready for the day. Here's the thing. Let's say that's true. Let's say that you spent all night on all fours barfing. I've been pregnant before. I remember how nauseous I was during the first, 4 to 5 months of my pregnancy. It was bad. They talk about morning sickness. That junk wasn't in the morning. It was all day. And then try to go to school full time and work full time at Wally World, where you are encountering all types of different smells and things of that nature. There are times where I left off the floor because I had to go to the bathroom because of how badly nauseated I was, right? Any person who has been spending the night, because this is what she said, she spent the night on her hands and knees throwing up. Any person who spent the entire night throwing up is drained. The last thing that you're worrying about is putting on makeup. So I don't know if I believe that. I personally feel like it's just another excuse. And I know she was nauseated during her pregnancies, but why are you concerned about makeup? If y'all disagree with me, that's fine. I'm just telling y'all my opinion. Mary confirms that Baldy cared about her appearance, but she did not feel pressure from him, like pressure about the hair and all those other things. Seeing some of y'all styles, I don't get, the whole appearance thing. If anything, I think he cared most about his appearance and his hair, since even to this day, it seems to be a thing. Christine said that, as far as she was concerned, that Cody put his bird on a pedestal. Cody says with the OG3, he was just trying to survive. He's not denying it. He was just trying to survive. The bird blames the family falling apart and the little trust that they had with each other. And I don't understand what that has to do with the whole makeup situation. Anyways, I feel like the family fell apart because of trust. If you're going to say that, then it's because y'all all are liars. Because look at how they lied to us over the years when it came to this being such a great relationship. So, back to the story. So they arrive at Maddie's. Janelle is home. Only thing that ties her, she says now, to Flagstaff is Savannah and Gabe and Pooville. The fact that she said Savannah and Gabe makes me wonder if at this point Garrison is gone. I'm thinking that he's gone. But I'm not sure. Y'all let me know down below. I can't remember the timeline on it. We know now that Savannah is with her, so the only thing that would tie her is Gabe. She says that she's ready to be done. She does not want to talk to Cody. She does not want to think about Cody. She does not want to interact with Cody. She is ready to move on. And when I heard her say that, I was clapping because it's time. It's time. I really don't want to see Cody on my screen anymore, but he's in bed with production in some kind. Okay, let me not say that he's in bed. I'm still thinking about that whole Tamron Hall situation. The fact that he is able to control things the way that he does and that he has so much power over production makes me feel like we're forever and always going to be stuck with him and his bird talking about stuff that we don't care about because they bored me, but we're going to get to them anyway. So it's the next day. Janelle wants to show David and Christine the property. The guy who did the whole dance for David at the wedding is there because he lives a couple hours away, so he came to visit. Maddie and Caleb are shocked to hear that when they were traveling that they brought their mother to a bar and that she did a shot. They joke about how, Janelle wanted to find a man with rock hard abs and nice pecs. I love that Christine said this. I love that Christine pointed it out that that's what he said, but it wasn't like that. And it really wasn't, because we remember a period where Cody had a gut. Nothing against guts. My man got a little. Have you ever seen a skinny person with the basketball? I'm so glad he doesn't watch my sister watch stuff. Anyways, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the gut. I got a fupa too. So like we're all in, Bellyville. My point is, like, you're in denial. You were acting like you had abs when you didn't have abs. And Cody's like, the point isn't that I have abs or not. I don't have rock hard abs, but I do, have a flat stomach. It was that Janelle saw me as a piece of meat, not a husband. It's hard to be, did he say it was hard to be vulnerable or something like that, or intimate with someone who looks at you like an object? Cody, come on. Come on. Like, who are you talking to here? She supposedly saw you like an object because she's attracted to you. She saw you like an object. Okay, whatever. I don't buy that. But what did you see her as? The bank. You said it in your book. You saw her as the bank. You utilized Janelle to live in her house. You utilized Janelle to get a job. Janelle was always the bank to you. So stop acting like you didn't use her when she truly didn't use you. So they go to see the property. This is her first time seeing it. She treated this the same way she did the RV, where she just bought it sight unseen. But Maddie had gone out to see it. So Maddie points out that, when it comes, because they talk about Coyote Piss Pass, shout out to Tina, Pooville, as I like to call it, and how, Cody doesn't finish things. She said Cody Brown doesn't finish things. So they get up there, and I gotta be honest, y'all, I wasn't impressed. There was a lot of trees and a lot of dirt, and in my opinion, they got more to do on that land than they had to do on Piss Pass. Janelle does admit that there is a lot of work to be done that she thinks is going to be 5 years worth of work. Christine and Mary both say that they would never do what Janelle is doing. Mary wants to travel with her man. Christine wants to be on something that's already developed. But Christine is excited for Janelle. And she does show a bunch of excitement for them on this place because she can tell that it's something that they want. And she wants Janelle to be happy. Maddie's like, this is a daunting thing. It's over 100 and I think it was 60 something acres. So we're going to have to take this 10 acres at a time. I'm going to have to agree with that because just seeing them drive down the dirt road and everything, they're going to put a whole bunch of money into getting it even ready to be able to build on. There's no irrigation. Like it's Coyote Pass in North Carolina. I'm just saying. Okay, let's get to Mary. Mary and Jen talk. Supposedly somebody ordered something from the Sister Wives Closet website. I'm confused as to why, after all this time, Robin hasn't handled that whole situation. So she got a notification where the gentleman is saying that he ordered something and he has not received his product yet. So he either wants his product or a refund. I put in my notes, why is Mary getting emails? The bird let us know that she started My Sister Wives Closet 10 years ago. I just love her revisionist history and how she acts like we haven't been watching this show for all these seasons and that we don't remember that it was the money of the Browns and them sitting down with you and helping you that enabled you to have this business. It was the work of you and Mary a lot of times that allowed you to have it. And yet you're just saying my, just because you were the designer for jewelry that you didn't even design. You had other people design it, but whatever. All right. So she talks about how, she had to put it on hold. I feel like the reason why she put the business on hold is because the wives were no longer working for her. That's why she put it on hold. Because why did you put it on hold? What changed in your life that caused you to put it on hold? It's not like you have an actual job other than filming for the show. What made you put it on hold? Let's be clear. Mary did more for that business than Robin. That's why she had such a problem with Robin when not with Robin, with Mary when she decided that she wanted to go back to school. She was all sad cuz how dare Mary want to go back to school when she's trying to give Cody another kid. Let's continue. So she says she put it on hold, but but she wasn't smart enough to disable the cart. I'm not a techie, but I think that you can have a website up and make it so that people can't continue to place orders. But for my techno savvy people, my people who know a little bit about websites and stuff like that, am I wrong in saying that you can make it so that no orders can be placed? Because why wouldn't you do that rather than having people keep visit this website, which I'm crazy people want to visit that website because that jewelry was ugly. But you're gonna have you're gonna have people keep visiting the website to look at product that you don't really want to sell or you don't have to sell. So apparently, when an order comes in here or there, the bird says that Mary gets a notification about it, and she sometimes will get one as well. I put this further proves that Mary did a lot of work behind the scenes that I don't think she gets credit for when it came to that business. There is no reason why Mary should still be getting emails. Mary talks about the bond that she had with the bird and how she grieves certain aspects of their relationship. She can't understand why the bird said that she wanted a relationship with her, but her actions showed otherwise because she was ghosting her. And Mary was quarantining during the pandemic, and even though she was quarantining and Robin knew that she was by herself, she was not allowed over. And she offered many times for the kids to come over and play outside on that playground that she had back there, and they wouldn't even come to the house to play outside. And even though Robin talks about the pandemic and she uses that as an excuse, Mary said even before the pandemic she was not coming to my house. We know that to be true because that was one of the things that Mary complained about very early on when they moved to Flagstaff, that she knew that they were going to struggle to see each other. They were struggling to see each other when they were in Vegas, when they were in the rentals, and people are a mile apart. Y'all weren't trying to see each other. So of course in Flagstaff, 30-minute ride here's and 15-minute ride here's, they're not making any effort to see Mary. So Mary is like, I don't understand how she could say that when she didn't put forth effort. She's like, but if I'm being honest, I don't think, even if I want to have something to do with the kids, that will be allowed at this point. I don't really feel like they want me to have anything to do with the kids because of where, they stand, or where, the two of them stand right now. And I think that it's safe to say that they don't want you to have anything to do with the kids because they like to control their kids. The bird is very much so a helicopter parent, and she is very much so the type of person who needs to be privy to all things. And I don't think she's going to let you hang out with them if she's not there. Always weird to me if you're supposed to be like a mom to them, why you're not trusted to have them or watch them. So the bird talks about how, I have 5 kids, and, my 5 kids, they were, in school during the pandemic, and, there was so much going on. And, Mary, the first year, after the first year, Mary was traveling a lot. So, there was problems with the schedule, and it was just so hard, for both of us to work out. Why is it so hard? If y'all aren't going anywhere, let y'all tell it. If y'all are staying put, why is it so hard to work out a time with Mary when Mary was back in Pooville, not Pooville, in Flagstaff for months at a time? Like, that's bull. It's a lie. It's a lie. And the bird believes what she's saying. So Mary is now looking at the things that we and other people have been saying over the years, which is that Robin is a fraud and that she's a liar. Jen does not think that Robin had intentional manipulation. I disagree. I think that it was very intentional. I think that Robin sought this family out very early on when she knew about this show. I think that Robin picked each one of those wives off one by one, trying to pick up various traits of them, trying to take over the things that they did. I think that Robin knew exactly what she was doing, and it worked out even better than she thought it would. So Jen doesn't think it was intentional manipulation. Y'all tell me, was it intentional or not? Put it down below, right? But she thinks that the bald eagle had a new person, and that it became a thing where it was them against everybody else. And here's the problem. Mary at one point was trying to be a part of them. Because although I like Mary now, I have not forgotten the way that Mary treated Christine. I have not forgotten the way that Mary silenced herself so that the feathers can spin whatever narrative they wanted to. I have not forgotten the way that the only person who was there for Christine when Christine decided to leave was Janelle, while everybody else was pissed off at her. I have not forgotten that. So I'm going to say that it was them against everybody else, and they used Mary to be a part of their number so it could be 3 against 1. But Mary was always an outlier, right? So the bird would act like your best friend, she says, and then ignore you and hurt your feelings. And I think that that's effed up. Jen says either be an a-hole or don't. Then you got the bird. You know, I always had Mary's back, even when people were plotting against her, ignoring her. And I never felt a divide. I never did, other than when she moved. That was when, that was when things changed. She changed after that, but I just, she really loves to play the victim. So Jen is a trip because Jen talks about how, what I think? I think that if Nathan and Cody weren't even at your house that day, that chick wouldn't even showed up at your house and gave you that fabulous gift. TLC is messy, right? Because she says the fabulous gift, and then we get the whole, like Robin walking up all sad, I wanted to give you this so an angel could, angel could always be with you. And they zoom in on the angel book. That oogly looking journal. Jen, I love you for that. So Jen knows that crap was ugly. And it wasn't Mary. That wasn't a Mary thing. If you're gonna give me a gift, give me a gift that I would like. Don't give me something that you would like. Give me what I would like, right? So the bird tells us that she reached out to Mary and was like, when you come back in town, we should hang out. Let me know so we can hang. And Mary told her she doesn't really know how to be friends with an ex-wife, how to be friends with, her husband's wife, her ex-husband's wife. So Mary's like, yeah, I said it because at this point, I'm changing it up a little bit. I don't know if that chick would be honest. I don't know if she's somebody that I can confide in because I don't know these days, what's what with the bird. So, recently I heard that Mary was bashing me and making fun of me with her friends in public, and I was just very hurt by this. Okay, did you see it online? Like, how did you hear it? Because Bird, you don't have a whole bunch of friends, so how did you hear it? Let me continue. I feel angry. I don't think that she wants a relationship. So I guess I got to deal with it like, I deal with the other people. At what point do you see that you're the problem? When multiple people are cutting ties with you, when multiple people are deciding to no longer be cool with you, when people like McKelty are taking steps back from you, and Tony, because the both of them were up your butt, are taking steps back from you, at what point do you say, there's something going on with me? Introspection is very important, and it seems to me like the feathers don't do that. On to the feathers. So over yonder in the nest, you got Baldy and his bird. They are moving on together, he says. They are trying to cleanse themselves of the toxicity that they've experienced. But that can't happen because they are toxic. But I guess he doesn't see that either. Baldy says that he hasn't spoken to Mary much, that the most that he spoke to her was when he helped her move. That speaks volumes. That the most that you spoke to her in years was when you all moved her. And then when you hit her up probably to get your little shirts back from the quilt that she made. That's the most you've spoken to her. I don't know what it is, but there's something about the feathers when they do their scenes that come off to me like it's giving performative. We're acting here. We're doing this scene because we have absolutely nothing else to show you, because we really don't want to divulge certain things to you, because we really don't want you inside our house to see all this crap. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to you about the baptism and then go out to eat, because we don't want you to come to our house and see. So we're going to, this is what we're going to do. And y'all are just going to accept this because TLC lets us do whatever we want to do. Meanwhile, you got Maddie opening up her home to the film crew, and you got Christine and David doing the same thing. But these two can give us the bare minimum, and that's fine. So it's time for Aurora to get baptized. We hear about the baptism in their church versus what Aurora's non-denomination church does, how different it is, how in their church that Cody them are from, only men can do it, whereas at Aurora's church, women could even do it. Cody talks about having to be baptized twice because his toe came up out of the water, that you have to have full immersion. I can't remember if it's a rule that you have to have full immersion in the church that I got baptized in, because I was baptized in Adventist church when I was 13. It was my decision, and I remember being really, really excited about it. So I'm listening to him talking. I can't remember, to the point where I halfway want to go look it up. Anyways, I'm a little annoyed with the scene because we're getting the baptism thoughts and what happened from the feathers, when I much rather have had a confessional with Aurora where Aurora tells us how she felt and what happened, than them giving us step by step and showing us a couple of pictures, since you want to talk about this. But we see a picture of him in her ear. The bird's like, Cody whispered in her ear. Okay, what he whispered was the baptismal vows that they did in his old church. So you over here acting like he whispered something special, girl, but that's what it was. Okay, and I'm not trying to say it wasn't special. I'm just saying there's a way that sometimes they say things that I sometimes feel, and I could be reaching, you all tell me, that they're making digs at the others. Like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna, talk about these things, knowing that some of the kids may see this, some of the wise may see this and be hurt. But okay, my thoughts, tell me yours. So we see her be baptized. We see a picture of her smiling as she comes up out of the water, and then him and her together while she's wrapped in a towel. All I can't help but notice is how he always shows up for Robin's kids, but we haven't seen him showing up for his own in a long time. Not for his own, for the others in a long time. They go out to eat. Robin talks about how they failed because none of their kids joined their church. What church? Y'all stopped going to church. How would you expect them to go to your church when the moment you came into the family and y'all went public, y'all stopped going to church? So your little kids don't even really know about the church. And the older ones has said very early on, with the exception of Aspen and Leon in the beginning, that they were the only two that were considering to do the whole plural thing. So why are you so surprised? Anyways, so she's talking about how there was a lot of jealousy, and the problem is that they didn't include God. And she saw, there were times where I just saw that we were screwing up. Did you see that you were screwing up? Did you see that by monopolizing his time, you were screwing up? Did you see by inserting yourself in other dynamics, you were screwing up? Did you see how you going over to Mary's and getting in on the time that she had? Because you said it in the book that you would go over to Mary's house and watch movies, and Mary thought you were just trying to spend time, but really you were taking her time. Did you see that? No, of course you didn't. So she says people are more concerned about themselves rather than building, the group. I said, please hold up the freaking mirror to your face and realize that you are people. You've always been more concerned about yourself and your kids than the group. You've always used your kids as a way to get further in the group. You've always isolated yourself. You've always had more. The bird takes and she takes and she takes, and then she can't understand why you keep taking while these other ones aren't, and there's issues. While you got Janelle living in an apartment in an RV, meanwhile you're living in $1 million house, and there's issues. Why you can't keep moving because of how badly it affects your kids, and anxiety this and anxiety that, and panic attack this and panic attack that. Meanwhile, all the others are expected to. Why they up and moved to Flagstaff in the first place, because you and Cody just happened to stumble upon this place. Come on, girl. So Aurora says, her baptism made her feel light. That's about the most we get. Cody talks about how she'll never have another experience quite like this. And Aurora's like, other than my wedding? According to Baldy, their kids, they just watch them sometimes and they stare. Good for your little feathers. So happy that the tenders get to watch you all and stare. Meanwhile, your other children barely got to witness you being enamored with their mothers. They barely saw interactions with you. Christine's kids, they can't even believe that Christine is kissing a man that she's only been with for this short period of time, and they're so affectionate because you never were affectionate with their mother. Instead, what the OG3 kids got to see, maybe at some point, not Leon, because we did see you and Mary seem close at times in the beginning, but they got to see you tolerate their mothers for the few hours that you decided to pop up, especially later on. So he's like, we just have so much love there. So they just love to watch us. And I'm just a fool for this woman. You are a fool and you're a liar. And I feel like those kids tolerate y'all, because I just feel like Cody and Robin cause a lot of unnecessary anxiety in them kids. So the bird said that once that, she said that Cody was her soulmate, she realized how wrong she was, because he has other wives. As Cody puts it, there's a lot of backlash for that, but it flattered him from then even up till now. TLC, we do not care about this. Janelle says she was surprised when the feathers used the term soulmate so much, because the bird comes from a plural family and she should know that that would hurt people. I think she did know that it would hurt people. I don't think she cared. I think that the bird likes to act like she cares, but she really doesn't, because actions speak louder than words. And her actions have shown me time and time again that it's all about her. So Christine does say that they did try to hide how special their relationship was, but they didn't. Cody feels like the bird doesn't express it as much. Like she doesn't say this whole soulmate thing as much. That the wives leaving stole some of his confidence, and he wonders if Robin values him. Here's the problem, Cody. You're more into her than she's into you. That's all it is. I think that Cody is very annoying. I think Cody is like one of those kids on the playground that is like, ooh, play with me, see me, see me. He needs a lot of attention. And I think that because now the other wives are gone and the other children are gone, that Robin is expected to do more than she's ever had to do, and it's draining her. Look at how much older she looks compared to the other wives who are significantly older than her. Robin looks like she's aging at a rapid rate. Meanwhile, the other ladies, they look like they're going backwards. Like there's so much relief for them in not being uh sucked, the energy being sucked out of them by him. So, um he says that he's, did I say that he's least he wonders if Robin values him. He's a vulnerable fool and she could take him for all that he has. I hope she does. I hope that his karma is Robin taking all his stuff, because we know he's, afraid of poverty. The bird lets us know that her and the bald eagle did a lot of work to make sure that they survived all the splits. That Baldy felt like their issues were because that the wives left, but Robin says that's not what it was. It was that he was being a moody butthole. Here's the thing, and this is what annoys me about Robin. Robin had all the advice in the world for the other women when they spoke on, especially Christine and Mary, how mean at times Cody was to them. And she acted like they were wrong in feeling the way that they were feeling. Here is Robin, who only got a little taste of him being moody, and she could barely take it. So, how do you think the women who had to deal for that for 10 and 20 years feel? That's why the other ladies left. They give advice to the girls about marriage. The bird is scared of plural marriage now. No worries, girl. He only wants you. They do a toast to Aurora. Cody says his daughters, Brianna and Aurora, are in no rush to get married, but when they do, they're going to share the experience with him. He's easy, he's friendly. Robin basically is going to be the challenge. Back to the Christine and Janelle. Christine is still, trying to find Janelle a man. She wants to find her a farmer or a landscaper. She feels like Janelle deserves to make her dreams come true, and she's going to do it. I feel like, Christine, I want you to stop worrying about Janelle finding a man, because Janelle has made it very clear that that's not what her main focus is right now. I think Janelle enjoys being able to just be. And the fact that she now is living with Maddie and she's surrounded by her grandchildren, Janelle is very full. Janelle is enjoying being surrounded by her kids. She's experienced certain losses and she needs time to just heal. So Janelle talks about how interesting it is to know that this is going to be her home, her last place to live. It's a lot of work, but it's going to be worth it because she has a vision. And that's pretty much how it ends. If there's something that I left out that you want to talk about, feel free to put it down below. Thank you so much. Go ahead and do me a favor. Let's do something different this for the rest of this season. Let's rate this 1 to 5 stars, or on a scale of 1 to 5. What are you giving it? This is going to be interesting. I don't know how many episodes that we have left. But I'm going to be here and we're going to be here till the wheels fall off. Anyways, thank you guys so much for your time. If you haven't subscribed, what you waiting on? Go ahead and do that. Help me grow. Until next time.